This is me at age 7. 7 is when I took my first liking to sports. Mainly baseball and running. When I say a liking, I mean a true, genuine love for team and endurance sports. As I got a little older, I got a little bigger, and I got a little faster. I ran literally everything: track, cross country, and road races on weekends. In middle school, I continued running cross country. High school was great because it allowed me to try new sports. The one sport that really stuck was volleyball. I loved it so much I even played through college. College ball was amazing. I got to travel and experience so many new things. To top it all off, we won a national tournament. But after college, the real world hit. I started working full-time. For the next 4 years of my life, athletics of all types just disappeared. What first inspired me to get back into running was actually my brother Doyle. In 2015, he ran a full marathon and a half marathon. And I still remember him when he got out of the car after the full marathon. He actually collapsed. And this was like 2 hours after he had finished the race. He still wasn't able to support himself with his own 2 legs, and I felt if he could run a full marathon, then I could at least get off my butt and run a 5K. The next year, he asked me to run the Army run with him, so I signed up for the 5K. Instead of building up endurance with a walk-run program, I just started running 5Ks. The very first 5K I ran, I wanted to quit after 400 meters, but I kept going. It took me almost 30 minutes, but I didn't walk, and that's what's most important to me. My training plan was simple: run 5 kilometers every day. I still remember the numbers dropping, first breaking 28 minutes, then 27, then 26. I actually still have the picture I took of my watch the first time I broke 24 minutes. With this ridiculous training plan, of course, came injury. About 8 weeks before the race, I ended up straining my proneus longus, which is a muscle in the lower left leg, and it was stiff and it hurt. But I kept running on it very stubbornly for 2 reasons. One, as I kept seeing my times drop, I kept seeing results. And the second reason is I already paid $70 for the race. I wasn't about to give that up. In hindsight, that was kind of a dumb choice to make, but that's what I did. I went through with running the race in September, and I ran a 23:37, which is exactly what I wanted to do. My goal was to break 24 minutes, simply because that was the lowest corral possible, so breaking 24 minutes was a big deal for me, and I was very pleased at the end of that race. The following weeks after the race, I kept training, I kept running, about 5K every day or every second day, and the injury just kept getting worse and worse, until one day I couldn't walk after I ran, and that's when I had to go see a doctor. The doctor sent me to the physiotherapist, and with the physiotherapist we did a lot of acupuncture and stretches, and I was off running for about 6 months. One of the cool things about physio is that I had to adopt a minimalist running style, and it wasn't for the benefits, it was actually because I needed to run on my toes to strengthen the injured muscle. But it actually worked out really well because I now continue to run minimalist for the benefits that minimalist running offers. I'm actually back to running 4 to 5 times a week now. I'm fully healthy, my legs are strong, and I can run a 5K consistently in just over 22 minutes, which is pretty satisfying because my high school time was only about 21 minutes, and I'm definitely at least 50 pounds heavier than I was then. Biking is definitely my favorite endurance sport. When you're a kid, it's all about how fast you can go, how high you can jump off the curb, popping wheelies, racing around with your friends. Well, as I got older, I just wanted to go faster. My grandfather bought my sister a giant racing bike for her triathlon when she was 14. And in my mid-teen years, I kind of stole her bike when she wasn't home and would ride it on the trails and on the paths near our house. Shortly after that, I got a fairly heavy Walmart brand steel framed racing bike, which did the trick, but I only had it for kind of a short period of time, and like everything else, biking just disappeared. A few years ago, my brother purchased a used Vichy from Kunstad Sports, an entry-level road bike, for $800, and I rode that for a few years, just whenever he would let me, whenever I could. It wasn't often, maybe once a month, just to get that feeling back. Now that I have a big boy job and my finances are in check, I decided it would be okay to spend a decent amount of money and get myself an actual road bike, one I've always wanted. I looked around for a used racing bike online, but being a 6'5", it's really hard to find something my size, so I went into Mech. I ended up getting a pretty good deal on a Ghost Nevele. There's one extra large frame in stock, and it was shipped all the way from Calgary to the Ottawa store for me to pick up. I also bought the pedals and the shoes from them. I've never ridden clipless before, so that was a new experience. They offer bike fittings for people who have purchased the bike. They actually give you a really significant discount if you purchased a bike over $1,000 from them. So I went back in for the bike fitting. The bike fitting was great. It exceeded my expectations. They use laser levels and angles and figure out your exact ride height and everything you need. They even switched out the stem for me, so I actually have a longer than stock stem on there, just to give me that perfect angle. And of course, the guy that did it for me was a great guy. He actually used to race in the pro circuit back in Europe, so he really knows what he's doing. But everyone I talked to at Mech was really friendly, really great, and I got a really great bike out of it. It was a great experience, and I couldn't have asked for anything more. But as we all know, the bike doesn't make you fast, you need to ride it to make it fast. So I started riding this thing 2-3 times a week. Just going out for endurance rides and getting used to the bike. I would ride the bike paths in Ottawa, and I'd go up and down and along the river, 30-40 kilometers. I wouldn't do any hard intervals or any hard training. There's a road near my house that was freshly paved, and it goes through some farmland. It's really, really nice as well, so I used to ride that. When I was a kid, I used to take swimming lessons, so I know how to swim, but I've never actually trained to do it. I did go out and buy swim goggles for this event. I knew I'd need them. And I went to my cottage twice, and it wasn't actually to train swimming, it was just to make sure I had the goggles on properly because they leaked. The goggles actually leak because around your eye is foam, and I should have bought the more expensive ones that have rubber. I didn't know this until race day when my brother, who used to swim, told me about this because he saw my goggles and we're like, what? Luckily they didn't leak on race day. I've since purchased new goggles.
August 28th, 7 a.m. Driving to the spot. First triathlon over.
Is the lot full already?
You looking for parking?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, all right.
Straight through?
Yeah.
It's the first parking lot
Yeah.
on the right.
Thank you.
Thank you
very much. There we go.
Woo, the nerves just hit, bro.
My nerves are just like left.
I want to see what transition zones are and what we can and can't bring.
No idea. How long has it been?
11 months since I ran a 5K, and then like 8 years since I ran an organized event. That's when I got fat. Well,
Just gonna keep recording.
oh yeah, that's cool. Keep asking questions if you want.
I don't have any other questions. Are you nervous?
Yeah, now that you mention it. A little bit.
Explain how you're feeling right now.
I just want to get everything organized. Then I'll be able to calm down once I have my like transition gear and bike organized.
What's the game plan for today?
The game plan
Lay down the
is
race day game plan.
not drown for the first 500 meters, and then quickly hop on the bike and kill it, and then hopefully maintain 5-minute K pace on the run to put me in not last position. Also, no stopping. That's a goal.
What are you doing over there?
Little pre-game. So we figured out that you can get belts to put your number on for running and for the bike. That way it's not pinned to your shirt when you're swimming. But they're $15 each, and I'm gonna get one from a cameraman and one from me. And they're cash only, and I didn't bring the cash. So we now have an hour and 40 minutes till race starts, and we're walking to a gas station to pull money out and buy some protein bars. And then we gotta walk all the way back to get our belts, then walk all the way to the transition zone to drop our stuff and hopefully make the race in time. So in case you haven't figured it out, Doyle competed in the sprint triathlon with me. After buying the belts, we barely made it to the start, missing the entire briefing. My swim was brutal. I couldn't front crawl for more than 50 meters without getting tired, so I ended up doing breaststroke the whole way, which for me was more like treading water in a forward direction. Doyle came out of the water in about 8 minutes in 6th place.
People get out of Doyle's way. Sort of.
Come on, Doyle.
I came out of the water shortly after at 10 minutes and in 46th place, 3rd for my age category.
You're my 5-year-old sister! There's Sid. No? Yeah, there's that girl.
After the world's slowest transition, I was on the bike. And I crushed it, averaging 32 kilometers an hour. The second lap is where I caught and passed Doyle. I moved up into 34th overall and first for my age group. The run was good. I held a 5-minute per kilometer pace and managed to catch this guy right at the end.
Males, 25 to 29. First place was Sydney Smith. Second place was Michael Davies. Congratulations. And third place was Doyle Smith. Whoa! Congratulations.
They must be related.
A huge thanks to my family for all the support, and to this little rascal for the inspiration all those years ago.
Okay.
I'm gonna save it.
What do you mean save it?
It's a squirrel, he's trying to get out. Yeah, please tell me you got that.